it out of the air, straight down and off the goal line, no question.
And the puck rolls to the post and then out of harm's way, and then to come back down and get the goal. It's the most improbable thing I've ever seen in World Junior history, and it could be stamp-worthy.
Alaska Daily, starring Hilary Swank, Thursday, October 6th, only on CTV.
The two guys expected to go first and second overall in the 2023 draft.
Bedard shoots, scores! Connor Bedard with a lightning strike.
I've never seen anybody in junior hockey shoot a puck the way this kid shoots a puck.
It's a lacrosse-style goal. He just pulled a Michigan.
Everybody tries to do it, but Matvei Michkov is the man.
Matvei Michkov, potential #1 overall pick in 2023.
Step by the defenseman to the net, the deke, and he scores! Oh my!
He's pretty much a guarantee to go #1 in the draft next year.
There's nothing that he's not exceptional in. When the games become challenging, the moments become big, he's right there ready to perform.
I love watching this kid play hockey.
They're not similar. The only thing that's similar about them is that they're exceptional players.
We have been waiting nearly 31 months to the day, March 24th, 2020. That's when Connor Bedard was granted exceptional status in the WHL. Now with TSN's preseason ranking show and Connor Bedard starting with the Regina Pats tomorrow to officially start the season. Bob McKenzie, Jermaine Franklin here with you. It is incredible when you think about last year at this time, Bob. Shane Wright was the unanimous #1 pick, but we all know what happened there. He ended up falling to #4 when Seattle picked him up. Can you see a similar scenario happening with Connor Bedard this time around?
I guess you never say never, Jermaine, but boy, it sure feels a lot different, which is to suggest that not all exceptional players are created equally. What happened to Shane Wright happened to Shane Wright, but Connor Bedard, the release that he's got, the shot that he's got, would just lead you to believe that this guy's going to be a big-time NHL scorer, and for a team picking first overall to pass on him at #1, I can't imagine the circumstance under what that would happen. But also another practical consideration is the biggest threat to him at #1 is a Russian, and he's under contract in the KHL for multiple years to come. But it's interesting. There's big three in this draft. It's Connor Bedard, Matvei Michkov, the Russian, and Adam Fantilli at the University of Michigan, a Toronto kid. So as they say, let the games begin.
Yeah, and let's see what Connor Bedard is all about.
He's so good.
Bedard to bring him up for Regina.
He's so smart.
Step by the defenseman to the net, the deke, and he scores! Bedard a second chance, scores! Connor Bedard, power play goal! Here they come again, Bedard with Cooley. Bedard shovels it towards the goal, rebound, score! Now Bedard in, shoots, scores! Connor Bedard, hat-trick! Shoots, tip, score! And is that Bedard again?
Yes,
it is. That's 4 for Connor Bedard. Ties the Canadian single-game record.
Edith with Soros to describe a lot of these plays. Not sure how many spectacular goals Bedard has had better than that this year.
Words almost undescribable of what you just witnessed.
Yes.
A lot of people in this building there tell the story for a long time.
And Bob, why is the North Vancouver native Bedard the overwhelming choice to be the second BC player to be drafted #1 overall? Ryan Nugent-Hopkins being the first.
Well, he's obviously an insane goal scorer. That would be #1. But, you know, you're right, Jermaine. It's going to be an unrealistic set of expectations for, is this guy a generational talent? And they're going to use the bar that Connor McDavid set for determining that. But in the narrow focus of this year's draft, all you really need to know is that his shot, his release, his ability to put himself in scoring positions on the big stage at crucial moments, it's off the charts. Whether he plays center or wing in the NHL, he's a dynamic offensive presence. His hockey sense is elite, so's his shot, his playmaking. At worst, he's expected to be a top-line scoring winger who could score 50 or 60, and who knows how many more. At best, the sky would appear to be the limit. So I don't, you know, you start getting into, is he McDavid, is he Ovechkin, is he going to be Matthews, is he going to be this, is he going to be that? Forget about all that stuff. That'll all come out in the wash down the road. But just the overall package and the ability to score goals and an offensive wow factor that is absolutely incredible, that's why he's the overwhelming favorite to go #1.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Bedard became the first and only player granted exceptional status to play in the WHL in 2020. He was then selected #1 in the WHL draft and earned Rookie of the Year honors. Last season, Bedard became the youngest 50-goal scorer in WHL history at 16 years and 258 days, and he has won 2 world championships with Canada, including the World Junior title just over a month ago in Edmonton. Joining us now from Calgary, TSN's Director of Scouting, Craig Button. Craig, always good to see you. And let's get your scouting report on Connor Bedard on a scale of 1 to 5 in the top skill categories.
Well, when there's a player such as Connor Bedard, there's lots of high-end qualities there. We're going to go right off the board with the hockey IQ. He gets a 6 out of 5 because it is that good. His ability to process quickly is outstanding, but he problem solves in real time. He sees the challenges in front of him, and he can adjust quickly and still continue to take full advantage. The shot is NHL quality, a 5. The precision, the accuracy, the deception, he's able to beat goaltenders from in tight, from different angles, and from distance. The puck skills, another 5 out of 5. Always able to get the puck into spots where he has the advantage and he can put defenders on their heels and at a disadvantage. The competitiveness, a 5. Still waters run deep. It might not be outward with Connor Bedard, but he's got this inner fire to make a difference, and he does exactly that. The only area where he falls short of a 5 is in the skating at a 4.5. And the only reason for that is he doesn't have that Connor McDavid blazing speed. But make no mistake about it, Connor Bedard can speed up, slow down, and it really keeps defenders off balance. It keeps them guessing, and when he sees an opening, he can explode and take full advantage.
Now, Craig, let's put a label on Connor Bedard and what he could be in the NHL. Could he be an all-star? Could he be a superstar, a franchise player, or a generational talent?
There's no question in my mind he'll be a franchise player. His ability to impact the game, his ability to make teams better. You know, when you start off and you watch Connor Bedard, you see this burning fire, you see this high-end skill, but it extends to the team, it extends to results. And when I consider how Connor Bedard approaches the game and the impact that he makes on the game, that is a franchise player. And when he gets with better players, you're going to see a franchise rise because of his presence.
And Craig will join us later in the show for the draft hot button issues for 2023. Now, Bob, who's #2 now, Michkov or Adam Fantilli?
It's Matvei Michkov, Jermaine, and in nothing but pure hockey terms, if you were to look at it, the Russian left-shot right-winger Michkov is Bedard's biggest challenger for status as the best player in this draft. Now, like Bedard, Michkov's a pure finisher, an elite sniper. He craves scoring the big goals on the biggest stages, and he's the heir apparent to Alex Ovechkin as the next great Russian goal scorer. Michkov scored a Russian record 12 goals in 7 games on the way to earning honors at the 2018 World Under-18 Championships. So he's got really in the same universe as Connor Bedard in terms of the ability to score goals.
Now, despite Michkov's pedigree, there are legitimate questions surrounding him. Is that fair to say?
There's no question about that. I mean, his draft status is very much up in the air, and it's because he's a Russian. And that's on many levels. Obviously, the Russia war with Ukraine, scouts are not going to get to Russia to see him as much. He's not going to be able to play in the World Junior Championships. He's not going to be able to play in the Senior Men's World Championships. But maybe the biggest factor of all is he's under contract to a KHL team until 2026. So as good as he is, NHL scouts look at him. They've got to determine at #2 overall or #3 overall, or let's say even #1 overall if they decided he was the best guy. We can't have this guy until 2026. We can have Connor Bedard. We can have Adam Fantilli. We can have a whole bunch. This draft class is outstanding. And so it'll be a lot easier for teams to look at a guy like Michkov and say, as good as he is, 3 years away. So there's a lot of uncertainty on that basis. He's also hasn't played since early August because he got clocked by Alexei Yemelin in a KHL game, and he's been injured since then. So that's yet another factor, but we'll see where that goes.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, while Bedard received all 10 first-place votes, Michkov and Fantilli were in a virtual dead heat in balloting amongst scouts. Michkov received 6 second-place votes and Fantilli 4, while Fantilli collected 6 third-place votes and Michkov 4. In total, the trio split all 30 first, second, and third-place votes. Now, Bob, take us through the rest of the top 5, starting with Fantilli.
Well, obviously, that number 3 man is Adam Fantilli, Michigan Wolverine center from Toronto. He's almost 6'2". He set his sights on unseating Bedard for number 1, and there's no denying his size, his strength, competitiveness, above-average skill give him the potential to be a number 1 NHL center. But scouts will be looking to see if his goal-scoring ability, when weighed against the elite levels of Bedard and Michkov, is merely good. We'll find that out. His first NCAA season should reveal where that aspect of his game is at. Number 4, Braden Yeager. The Moose Jaw Warrior center has all the tools to be a well-rounded number 1, at the worst, high-end number 2 NHL center who could impact the game in every way. Offensively, defensively, goal-scoring, playmaking. Hockey sense is viewed as elite, and he has no glaring weaknesses in his game. The scouts love him. Number 5, Leo Carlsson, the big Swedish forward who has the versatility to play wing or center depending upon the circumstances, has already earned some great early reviews for his play in Europe thus far this season. He can score goals, make plays, and that offensive potential along with the big frame nudges him into the top 5 to start the season.
And we look at Bob's preseason top draft prospects, 1 to 5. Fantilli was the USHL playoff MVP in 2021 and regular season first All-Star in 2022. 4, Yeager told TSN's Mark Masters he is targeting 50 goals and 100 points this season. And 5, Carlsson averaged nearly 2 points per game in 14 Swedish under-20 games last season. All right, Bob, back to your list. Who fills out the top 10?
Well, let's go to number 6, and that would be Cal Ritchie from the Oshawa Generals. The big center has the size, the skating ability, the skill combination that project him to have a very good chance to be at least a high-end number 2 NHL center, or perhaps even a lowercase number 1 pivot who can do it all. Number 7, Zach Benson. The Winnipeg Ice Fireplug sub-6-foot winger is a high-energy, hard-driving, in-your-face player. Think maybe a little bit along the lines of Brendan Gallagher. He's not a pretty skater, but he more than gets there, and when he does, he has the ability to score and make plays. Number 8, Cam Allen. The Guelph Storm high-end two-way threat on the blue line is remarkably the only defenseman, the only one in TSN's top 16. He's not quite 6 feet tall, but he plays with a physical bite that makes him more than a capable defender, but his forte is strong skating, and he makes things happen with the puck in all 3 zones. Number 9, Dalibor Dvorsky. The Slovak center has the size, the strength, the skill, and competitiveness to project as a solid two-way number 2 NHL center, equally adept at scoring goals and making plays. And finally, number 10, Big Charlie Stramel. At 6'3" and 212 pounds, the American from the University of Wisconsin, freshman winger, has the rare blend of size, skill, and ability to be physically punishing. All the requirements you look for in a top 2-line NHL power forward.
As we round out the top 10, 6, Ritchie's 10 points in 5 games were tops in the 2022 Hlinka Gretzky tournament. Benson led Winnipeg in playoff scoring last year on a team that included 2022 first-rounders Matt Savoy and Connor Geekie. And number 8, Allen, says it would be an honor to be the first defenseman selected in the draft. When we come back, number 1 ranked Connor Bedard join us on the show to talk about the next 9 months will be like leading up to the draft in Nashville, and we will run through Bob's rankings from 11 to 16 and a couple of forwards who could have a chance to crack the top 10 by year's end.
Welcome to Casper. Here, a cozy night's sleep is crafted piece by piece. Awaken the potential of your well-rested self. Casper.
All that we have to do on your fancy pants for Little Caesar's Fanceroni Pepperoni. With double the pepperoni all the way to its cheesy crust edge, it demands to be eaten with a raised pinky. Free pepperoni pizza with purchase of a Fanceroni Pepperoni for 3 days only.
Pepperoni, pepperoni.
When people think of Canada Post, they imagine mailboxes from coast to coast to coast. But we also help businesses big and small keep up with orders, short and tall. Loan a little for a rough kind of day. Go wherever you go, near and far away. And our good neighbors to the land, the trees, the puffins, and the bees. We're getting things done, and we've only just begun.
Oh yeah, I have to pick up my Viagra, but this time I'm going to ask for branded Viagra. Last time they gave me the generic, but the branded Viagra is, virtually the same price. I'm gonna need a bag.
Viagra. You know the name. Ask for it.
With the dual cameras on the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4, you can capture stunning moments and... Oh, hello.
Sweet, got the angle.
You can also capture yourself at the same time. And with the versatile Flex Cam, you can do it all, hands-free. Capture awesome views and awesome moves on the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4 and share it on Canada's best 5G network.
From your favorite place, you get your favorite food. From your favorite store, right to your favorite place. PC Express Online Grocery. Your favorites delivered your way.
Me and my buddies, we would get the Auto Trader and we'd scan through it like it was comic books.
The app is so cool. You got your listings, as you can see, is your nifty little great price badge. Auto Trader has completely replaced my dad.
Hey! Get into East New York. New series, Sunday, October 2nd, only on CTV.
Welcome back. The CHL season kicks off tonight with one game in the Quebec League as Gatineau visits Shawinigan. The Western League opens Friday and the Ontario League September 29th. The CHL prospect game is January 25th in Langley, BC, and Kamloops is hosting the 2023 Mem Cup May 26th to June 4th. The NHL draft is June 28th and 29th in Nashville. Welcome, Connor. This has been an eventful offseason for you, winning the World Junior Championship and now earning unanimous status as TSN's #1 draft prospect. How are you approaching this season?
Yeah, I don't think I think about, the number or, what I'm kind of supposed to go. Or, I mean, there's so many great players in this draft class. And I mean, like I said before, there's just so much time. So for me, I'm just, focusing on, us, the Pats winning games. And, as a player, I just want to, kind of improve my overall game and 200-foot game. So I think you talked about numbers earlier and stuff. I think that stuff is kind of harder to project and think about as much. You just kind of want to go out and try to improve in all areas.
That's an excellent way to approach it. Now, your Regina coach, John Paddock, says you're like Patrick Kane and Nikita Kucherov, but could end up scoring more goals. They seem like good comparables to you?
I'm not sure. I mean, I think it's hard to compare to, two of the best players in the NHL, but I think I've heard, a lot of different comparisons for me. And, obviously he watches me a lot. So, I think he's got a good sense, but it's pretty cool to hear him compare me to those two guys for sure.
Connor, you collected 40 goals and 82 points in your final 40 WHL regular season games last season. Do you think you can average a goal per game and 2 points per game over an entire season in 2022-23, which would be incredible?
I'm not sure. I mean, it's hard to, set those point goals, I find, but, so that would be nice. But, like I said, it's just kind of one game at a time. And, I think, let's try to play the best I can, obviously, and hopefully the numbers can come.
Fair, very fair. Which of these goals scored for Team Canada is your favorite? The backhander versus Russia in the 2021 World Under-18 gold medal game, or the wrist shot versus Finland in the 2022 World Junior Championship? Tough choices, absolutely.
I think just off it being in the gold medal game, probably the Russia one. You know, just because, like I said, it wasn't the gold medal, and a little more stake than a round robin game, but it was pretty cool to score both for sure.
Now, you have modeled your shot after NHL super scorer Austin Matthews. Can you imagine yourself equaling or even bettering his shot one day?
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be pretty tough to better it, but that's something I've done a lot. I mean, I just kind of even now, when you're bored in school or something, you just search up his highlights or something, and just kind of watch that. I bring my phone out in the backyard and just watch it and try to copy it a little. But I mean, he's obviously the best in the world at it, so I wouldn't want to compare myself to that.
Thanks so much, Connor. Number 11, Nate Danielson, has 5 points in 2 preseason games with Brandon this year. 12, Ethan Gauthier led the 2022 Hlinka Gretzky tournament with 6 goals, including Canada's gold medal winner versus Sweden. Number 13, Edward Saleh crushed the Czechia U20 League in 21-22, earning 99 points in 44 regular season games and playoff games. Number 15, Colby Barlow's 30 goals for Owen Sound were second most among OHL rookies last season, and 9 of Bob's top 16 are Canadians. Last year, there were only 4 Canadians among the top 16.
Keep an eye on Nate Danielson at number 11 and Ethan Gauthier at number 12. Now, the Brandon Wheat King center Danielson gets really high marks for being a two-way center with some really good offensive potential. He can play it any which way you like. And the Sherbrooke Phoenix winger Gauthier gets accolades for a high-energy, disruptive game that allows him to make things happen in and around the net.
Rejoining us from Calgary is Craig Button for another installment of Hot Button Issues. So let's get rolling. The TSN consensus number 2 pick is Matvei Michkov. Who's your number 2?
Czechia's Edward Shala. High-end skill, the ability to impact the game, shooting, skating, passing. He's competitive. He excelled at the U18 as an underage. He excelled at the Hlinka Gretzky tournament. You're looking at a player, by the end of the year, can just continue to grow. He shredded the Czechia Junior League last year. There's every reason to believe that he can challenge right into the top end of the draft.
With scouts not traveling to Russia and Russian players not traveling to major competition outside the country, how are teams going to get an accurate read on them this season?
Well, it's going to be a lot of work with people within Russia. NHL teams have scouts embedded in Russia, and they're going to have to rely on that. The good thing also is that they have video of the respective leagues, the junior leagues, so there'll be a lot of video scouting and a lot of work from the Russian scouts in this year's draft when it comes to the Russians.
All right, Craig, finish this sentence. The 2023 draft class is the best since
2015, when Connor McDavid went first overall. It has to be, because now you have Connor Bedard in the number 1 slot. So when you consider the depth of this draft, you consider the high-end talent after Connor Bedard, I think it resembles 2015.
Bob has only 1 defenseman ranked among the consensus top 16. Where have all the defensemen gone this year?
Oh, there's defensemen here. Mikhail Gulayev, a player already playing in the KHL, a really top player, one of Bob's honorable mentions. Martin Sturbeck, another honorable mention. Give them some time to grow. There's a lot of good ones here. Maybe a little bit green at this point in time, but they're out there.
And if 2022 was the year of the Slovak, what is 2023?
The year of Canada. Last year it might have been a little bit of whoa Canada. This year it's oh Canada.
And who starts the 2022-23 as Canada's most highly touted prospect for the 2024 NHL Draft?
Macklin Celebrini, a young player from North Vancouver. Oh, yeah, that's where Connor Bedard's from.
Thanks for this, Craig. Still to come, time for a little audience participation. We asked you for your best tank slogans for teams hoping to land Connor Bedard at the draft. Your best responses are next.
Like Jack Armstrong, PowerPod switches with ease.
He puts up a three. Rolls it into the end zone. He dives. Goal!
PowerPod, one battery powering multiple brands. Only at Canadian Tire.
Cooperators offers financial services and advice tailored to you. Like the just trying to grow our investments as quickly as Penelope grows out of her clothes plan.
Do you know what Contrave is? I do. Do you? Maybe not, but your doctor does.
Find out about the support and financial assistance available at no charge to all Contrave patients.
With the dual cameras on the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4, you can capture stunning moments and... Oh, hello.
Sweet, got the angle.
You can also capture yourself at the same time. And with the versatile Flex Cam, you can do it all, hands-free. Capture awesome views and awesome moves on the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4 and share it on Canada's best 5G network.
Canada Drives is the easiest way to sell or trade a car. Simply enter a few details online and get a guaranteed offer. We'll pick up your car, you'll get paid. No hassle, no haggling. It's the smarter, safer way to sell or trade a car. It's Canada Drives.
What's better than a great cup of coffee? How about a great free cup of coffee? That's coffee made with 100% Arabica beans, roasted in Canada, like all 7-Eleven coffee. Join the 7-Eleven Coffee Club and get every 7th coffee free when you scan any 6 coffee purchases in your 7-Eleven app. Join the Coffee Club. Download the 7-Eleven app today.
Game sauce and tuna, best slip is empty. I gotta call KG.
KG, what up? I got nothing for you, Fox. Oh, come on. Gretzky, what's up? I need some tips. Jamie, you want a tip? Yeah. No. Marshawn, Barry. Listen, I need some tips.
I like LA. No, Dallas. That's the bet. No, Dallas not the bet. How about Detroit? Barry betting with his heart.
I'll call y'all right back. Vanessa.
I got a tip for you. Always go with your gut.
I like that. Let's go with our gut.
Welcome back. Arizona is the FanDuel betting favorite to finish last overall in the NHL and earn the highest percentage chance of winning first pick in the 2023 draft lottery. Montreal is third at plus 500. And there are slogans virtually every year for the race to finish last for that first overall pick. Bob, and we asked you, the fans, to find out what the best slogans would be for tanking for Bedard, and here they are. The season's a goner. Let's get Connor. Tank hard for Bedard. Dishonor for Connor. Don't play hard if you want Bedard. Fall flat for the Regina Pat. That's not bad. And our favorite, and surely that of all Montreal Canadiens fans, en français, en retard pour Bedard. Which one do you like best?
I like the en français a lot, but I think the season's a goner, let's get Connor, although I would edit it just a little bit to say, season's a goner, we're tanking for Connor. And on that FanDuel thing, by the way, I don't know how Philadelphia didn't get on that board. I think Torts just called them FanDuel and said, you can't put us on there, but they could be in the running.
And the draft is in Nashville this year, June 28th and 29th. But it's on a Wednesday and Thursday. Why is that?
Very simply, the NHL wanted to go to Nashville for the draft. They couldn't do it on the weekend because there's no hotels available in Music City. So midweek draft. And also, it dovetails nicely with what some of the television networks want to do. So between the TV schedule and the availability of hotels, Wednesday night for the first round and Thursday for the rest of it.
And this is the first. Bob, you have 2 more draft ranking shows coming up this season. Which ones are they?
Mid-season in January, final